If you use face wash, you are poisoning yourself. Sure, you can find all natural, organic, clean face wash, but here's what big beauty brands don't want you to know. You have to rinse it off with water. And they don't have to list that as an ingredient. Water, also known as H2O, is a deadly chemical that kills over 4,000 people a year. But these big beauty brands want you to put it directly on your face. Follow for more low-tox beauty info. See how stupid that sounded? That's the kind of fear-mongering rhetoric that racks up millions of views and demonizes perfectly safe health and beauty products. And for some reason, it involves a lot of hand movements. Clean beauty is misunderstood. Let's fix that. Hello and welcome. My name's Shelby, and on this channel I try to explain misunderstood topics. So if that sounds interesting, keep watching and check out some other videos on the channel. Clean beauty is not entirely new. CoverGirl has actually been advertising clean beauty products since the 60s, but in the last 20 years or so, it has exploded in popularity. But what does it mean? The answer is nothing. Clean beauty is not a movement. It's not consumer safety, it's not consumer advocacy, it's not environmental protection. It is marketing, full stop. It is a marketing strategy. The term clean beauty has no official meaning and zero regulation. Anyone can slap the term clean beauty on their product and it can mean whatever they want it to mean. It's fear-mongering, which is not at all new or unusual in marketing. Political ads use it all the time. This candidate wants to let people out of prison so they can murder you in your sleep. Vote for me. I've never murdered anyone. Paid for by the political party against murder. By describing a product as clean, you're implying that other products are dirty. Our lipstick is clean. You don't want dirty lipstick, do you? If you're interested in clean beauty products, it's probably for one of two reasons. You want products that are sustainable and eco-friendly, or you want products that are free from harmful ingredients, or both. Now, before the product ever gets to us as the consumer, there's a lot that goes on. There's sourcing materials, there's manufacturing, there's labor, there's transportation, all that stuff. But by the time it gets to us, there's really two main parts of a product. There's the product itself, and there's the packaging. So if you are looking for clean beauty products because you want to be more eco-friendly and sustainable, first of all, I think that's great, but let's look at how clean beauty is actually doing that. So let's talk about packaging. When it comes to the beauty industry, which includes makeup, skincare, body care, hair care, fragrance, they use a lot of plastic. The beauty industry is the fourth largest consumer of plastic after food and beverage, industrial packaging, and pharmaceuticals. It's cheap and easy to make, it's light so it's easier to transport, and it's relatively easy to make it airtight or watertight to protect the product. Unfortunately, in the year of our Lord 2026, it is nearly impossible to avoid plastic in beauty products. But something that pretty much everyone can do is to avoid single use. Most single-use products do not need to be single-use. Toner pads, those individual flosser things. I'm not innocent. I absolutely use single-use products that I don't need to use. I'm trying to cut back, but it's something that we can all do. Another popular substance for beauty packaging is glass, and that's a good thing. It has a higher rate of being recycled. It can be recycled pretty much forever, and if it is left in nature, it doesn't cause pollution or ruin the soil. It's not perfect. It does take more energy to recycle glass than other materials. It takes more energy to transport because it's heavier. And to make glass, you do have to mine things like silica and sand, which we are weirdly in a shortage of because as a species, we just seem intent on killing our planet. Paper and bamboo are really sustainable resources. They do contribute to deforestation. That's not great, but there are more ethical and sustainable ways to produce paper and bamboo, and they are a renewable resource. If you cut a tree down, you can plant another tree. But no matter the material that's used, the sourcing, the manufacturing, and the transportation are all going to be not great for the environment. Whether it's contributing to pollution or using up resources, there is no perfect packaging. When it comes to the product that's inside the packaging, if you're looking for something eco-friendly and more sustainable, you might think that getting something from nature is going to be better. And that's not really that true. Getting an ingredient from nature requires using up a resource and, again, harvesting purifying, manufacturing, transporting, all those different steps. And even after that, they may not be as stable, they may not be as consistent, and we do not have an unlimited supply. On the other hand, synthetic or lab-made ingredients can often be more stable, more consistent, more cost-effective, and often a lot less likely to irritate your skin. And if you're really into natural ingredients, come in close, listen to me. Beef tallow is not sufficient sun protection. So it is hard in the beauty industry to be eco-friendly and sustainable. So what can we do? Using products that have locally sourced their ingredients in their packaging reduces transportation needs. You can look for products that have biodegradable packaging. If you do prefer natural ingredients instead of lab-made, look for ones that are locally and responsibly sourced. And something we're seeing more in packaging is refillable containers. Now, sometimes these refills use just as much plastic as the original packaging, which is very frustrating, but there are some really good refills that reduce packaging waste, and you can also buy larger sizes. If there's a product that you love and you know you're going to use, buy the biggest size possible to reduce your packaging footprint, as long as you'll use it within the expiration date. Honestly, when it comes to sustainability and beauty, as consumers, we're a little bit screwed. It is really, really hard to be responsible. There are lots of steps you can take. The single best thing you can do is buy fewer products. I know that's easier said than done. Makeup and skincare and hair care is often a hobby for people. It's something they really enjoy doing. They like using different products. They like doing different looks, and I totally respect that. But try and use what you have. Try and use the entire product up before the expiration date. You may have heard of Project Pan. It's something in makeup where people are trying to use the entire product. They're trying to hit pan, which means they've used enough of the product that they can actually see the bottom of the packaging. And I think that's great. Again, make sure you're not using expired products. We want everyone to stay safe, but try as best as possible to use what you've already purchased. And recycle what you can. If you have a beauty product and you're not able to recycle the packaging, or you're not sure if you can, both Ulta and Sephora have partnered with the Pact Collective, and they will take your empty, hard to recycle beauty products, even if you didn't buy them there, and they will recycle them for you. So aside from being more sustainable, the other reason that people look for clean beauty is they want products that are free from harmful ingredients. This section is mostly about product, but a quick note on packaging. BPA-free is not an indication of a safer product. Instead of using BPA, manufacturers now just use nearly identical chemicals that leach the same things into your products. So BPA-free has kind of become meaningless. Sorry.
Until we meet again!
In the last 10 to 12 years, there's been a huge surge in people being more aware of the ingredients in their products. This is largely thanks to brands like The Ordinary and the Inky List, who put a huge emphasis on ingredient awareness and ingredient education. And consumer knowledge is great. I want people to be more aware and more understanding of what they're putting in and on their body. You know what niacinamide is, and you know why it's good for your skin. That's great. That doesn't make you a cosmetic chemist. There's a phrase in chemistry and toxicology: the dose makes the poison. Everything can kill you. Sorry to be such a Debbie Downer, but it's true. Most things won't kill you, but they can. You should drink water. It's good for you. But people have died from drinking too much water. Too much of anything can kill you. Again, the dose makes the poison. 1 sleeping pill, approved by doctors. 100 sleeping pills, dead. 1 tequila shot, have fun with that. 50 tequila shots, dead. Getting a chest x-ray, best of luck. Chernobyl radiation, you guessed it, dead. Cosmetic chemists exist as a profession, as a specialty, because how much of an ingredient you put in, how it interacts with other ingredients, the stability, the packaging, all those things are complex and important. Just automatically saying that this ingredient is bad is reductive and shows that maybe you don't know how to do science. People have really vilified the word chemical. They've made people afraid of chemicals. Everything is chemicals. You are chemicals. I am chemicals. We are all chemicals. And this relates to the appeal to nature fallacy. This is the assumption or belief that if something is natural, it is automatically better than something man-made. And it's a fallacy because it doesn't stand up to logic or more than 35 seconds of critical thinking. Arsenic is natural. Cocaine is natural. Mold is natural. I don't want any of those things in my foundation. People really like to villainize chemical sunscreen, also known as organic sunscreen. And you can learn all about that in my sunscreen video. But it's just one more example of people trying to make you afraid of the word chemical, when the word chemical is neutral. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. Another thing you might see in beauty products is fragrance-free or unscented. And these sound like they should mean the same thing, but they don't. If something is fragrance-free, that means that it doesn't have any ingredients that are specifically in there to add fragrance, but it could still have fragrant ingredients. A fragrance-free product could have very strong smelling essential oils that are common allergens, by the way, but if it's not in there for fragrance purposes, then it can still be fragrance-free. As someone who's pretty sensitive to fragrance, I really wish this was a more clear distinction. And unscented does not mean fragrance-free. A lot of ingredients have a natural fragrance, a natural smell. So unscented products may have other fragrance ingredients in there to cancel them out. So if you have an unscented product, it is designed not to have a distinct or strong smell, but there could be lots of fragrance ingredients in there mixing around to try and even it all out. So whether you like fragrance or not, it's important to understand what those terms mean. Now, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the ingredient that has been villainized over all others by the clean beauty community. Let's talk about parabens. Parabens are a type of preservative. Preservatives in beauty products are important. They keep bacteria and mold out of your ingredients, which at its best can cause skin irritation and at its worst can kill you. Different types of parabens are also found naturally in things like blueberries. So preservatives are very important. You need preservatives. We all need preservatives. And parabens are one of the best preservatives on the market. They protect from a wide variety of bacteria. They're known to be very minimally irritating to people, and they're very well researched. So why are companies bragging about being paraben-free? Well, partially to blame is this woman, Dr. Philippa Darber. She is a highly credentialed and well-intentioned research scientist whose work has been completely blown out of proportion and taken out of context to fearmonger. She did a study in 2004 called Concentration of Parabens in Human Breast Tumors. She studied the breast tissue of 40 women who had breast cancer and found that the majority of their cancerous breast tissue had parabens. That's it. She didn't look at the tissue of women without breast cancer. She didn't compare it with the tissue of other parts of their body. But the media leapt on it and decided that parabens cause breast cancer. So many scientists have come forward to say that that is not at all scientifically proven or even what Dr. Darber's study said. This includes Dr. Darber. She said the fact that parabens were detected in the majority of breast tissue samples cannot be taken to imply that they actually caused breast cancer. She has repeatedly said that people have taken her work out of context, and making a blanket statement like something causing breast cancer is irresponsible and inaccurate. Something else that people have a problem with parabens is that they act like estrogen and are endocrine disruptors. Parabens can act like estrogen, but they are 10,000 times weaker than the estrogen that is found naturally in the human body. And you know what else can affect estrogen? Soy, and berries, and garlic, and a million other things that we ingest every day and that we are told is healthy by these clean beauty people. So if you are saying something is bad because it's an endocrine disruptor, but you're having a soy milk latte, I'm not gonna listen to you. And since some people no longer want parabens in their ingredients, brands have started using paraben alternatives, and they're simply not as good. They are more irritating, they're less stable, they're more pH sensitive, and they protect against fewer types of bacteria. Suntegrity, Becca Cosmetics, Clean and Clear, Mizani have all had to issue recalls of products without parabens where bacteria has been found. Scientists are using the term epidemic of allergy because paraben alternatives are so much more likely to cause irritation and allergic reactions. A lot of people consider the EU to be one of the gold standards of product safety because they do tend to have much higher safety standards for products than the rest of the world. Europe allows parabens.
Well, if parabens are so safe, why are they banned in the EU? I love that one because I always hear it with that voice in my head. Parabens are not fully banned in the EU. Only 5 of them are actually banned in the EU. Isopropyl, isobutyl, phenyl, benzyl, and pentyl. Methyl, ethyl, propyl, and butyl are not banned in the EU. Take that, okay? They're actually still widely available in the EU, Japan, Australia, and Canada, for that matter.
And unlike in the US, they actually don't allow products to be labeled as paraben-free because it implies that parabens are not safe, which they are. So if you're looking to be more mindful about the ingredients and you want safer, less harmful ingredients, instead of just looking for clean beauty and just accepting it as it is, clean beauty, healthy, good to go, you got to know what you're looking for. If you're looking for clean beauty products, ask yourself why. Are you trying to avoid fragrances? Then look for that. Are you trying to avoid parabens? Why? But if you are, look for paraben-free. Are you trying to avoid artificial dyes? Look for products that use natural coloring like turmeric and beetroot. Trying to avoid palm oil? Familiarize yourself with these ingredients, which are all just different terms for palm oil, and avoid them. I think we as consumers need to stop relying on vague, unregulated, fear-mongering terms to convince ourselves that we're doing something that's better for us. I think we need to be a little bit more proactive, identify exactly what we're trying to accomplish by buying clean products, and then familiarizing yourself with that issue and buying products accordingly. And please listen to the scientific community. In every scientific specialty, there's going to be outliers, people who disagree with their colleagues and have interesting views, and we're going to talk about some of them. But if the scientific community has come to a consensus, like with parabens, please believe them and believe that they may just know more than you. I've been bagging on clean beauty pretty hard, but I want you to know that it's not all bad. Pushing for more ingredient transparency and more responsible actions within brands is a good thing, and it has come with some good outcomes. Unilever, which owns all these big brands, now voluntarily identifies its fragrance ingredients so that people can avoid them if they want to. That's because of the clean beauty trend. So we need to talk about the experts and the watchdogs who are looking at products to make you safer. Start with the EWG, the Environmental Working Group. It's a nonprofit that aims to inform and educate the public about possibly dangerous ingredients in food, beauty products, and home products. Sounds good, right? Well, they tend to be a bit of a drama queen. There was a survey of members in the Society of Toxicology, so professional expert toxicologists, and 79% of them said that the EWG overstates the risks and dangers of ingredients. And if you want that fancy sticker that says you're EWG approved, yeah, you gotta pay for it. They are entirely built on fear-mongering, and they consistently contradict themselves. Let's look at a few examples. Let's look at the ingredient butyloctyl salicylate. On this Babo product, when you look at the ingredients, there's no ranking for this ingredient. It just lists some information. On this Supergoop product, it is ranked. It has a ranking of 6, which is not good. In EWG world, 1 is the safest and 10 is the most dangerous. So 6 is not great. But why is it only ranked in some products? Well, if you click on the ingredient itself, you get a lot more information, and EWG says this is an unacceptable ingredient. You will not find this ingredient in EWG verified products. All right, that's pretty strong language. They have very strong feelings, and they will not verify anything with this ingredient. Oh, wait, yes, they did. And oh, wait, yes, they did again. Make it make sense. Remember when I said that parabens occur naturally in blueberries? Well, in this EWG news article titled The Myth of Natural Parabens, it says, and I quote, related molecules have been found to occur naturally in blueberries and some other plant species. Parabens differ from these molecules in that they contain chemicals called esters, which results in different chemical properties and characteristics. So natural parabens don't have these nasty esters. Well, if we look at the chemical entities of biological interest, a widely used and respected chemical compendium, CHEBI, CHEBI? Do they go by CHEBI? It's not great. If we look at this paraben that is naturally found in blueberries, it is an ester. This is the same type of paraben that's commonly used in beauty products. Stop lying. But hey, I said to respect scientific experts, and I'm certainly not one, so let's check the source. Yeah, this was written by an intern. While researching this video, I found a pretty clear scientific consensus about parabens, that they're perfectly safe. But then I came across this.
In other words, getting rid of parabens and phthalates reduces the risk of breast cancer by decreasing genes that promote breast cancer. So I need to call something out because I've seen criticism of this landmark study, but not by anyone with actual solid scientific expertise of how research studies are conducted.
I was like, huh. PhD toxicologist, she disagrees. Maybe it's not as much of a consensus as I thought.
People who defend ingredients of concern in cosmetics often try to poke holes in studies like these, calling out the supposed small number of participants. And a lot of the misunderstanding comes because it's actually much easier to have a statistically significant and therefore more reliable result when you have larger sample sizes. Meaning, if you recruit hundreds and thousands of people, of course, if there is an effect, you'll more easily see it because of the large sample size and therefore reproducibility. But the fact that this study shows statistical significance and tight data sets with just small numbers of test subjects makes it even more compelling.
None of what she said makes any sense. It's a better study because it's small? What? I'm not a scientific expert, but I was a math teacher. That's not how math works. So I looked into Dr. Yvonne Burkhardt. She does have a PhD from a respected university, and she does like to call herself an industry expert and an industry leader. But when you look into her work, you don't find scientific publications. You don't find her working with other scientists. I couldn't even find her thesis, but I could find a lot of podcasts and a $600 course to teach you how to be more low tox.
How many of these sort of day-to-day consumer products have toxic chemicals in them, or at least one toxic chemical?
Almost everything. And it might shock you to think that is almost everything, but unfortunately it is.
Yeah, she seems reasonable. So we have watchdog groups that are inconsistent. We have scientists who have turned to ridiculous rhetoric. And then we have these guys.
Hi, dermatologist here, back with one of my least favorite genres of video that I call White Guy in Target.
Mineral oil or petroleum. Very common and very moisture inducing.
There's not petroleum in the product, it's petrolatum.
Refined properly, it could have horrible health consequences. But
well, yeah, that's why
parabens.
it is refined properly. Okay. The whole parabens thing was debunked like 15 years ago because of people like this. Crack open a book, please.
This is Bobby Parrish. I tried to look into his credentials, and they seem to be having a bachelor's in business. He makes a lot of food content. He's never been trained in that either. But he speaks with so much confidence. This is Brendan Ruh. And for some reason, I think his name suits him so well. Ruh. He really enjoys going up to random people in stores and berating them for what they're buying.
Blue 1. Cool, okay. That Gatorade is Blue 1. Remember Tang? Yep. Dude, it's just sugar in yellow 5 and yellow 6.
He was actually banned from a Whole Foods.
An employee, while we were filming this, that really doesn't like us anytime we go to Whole Foods, said, I am banned from that location.
And to that Whole Foods employee, I say, thank you. You're doing the Lord's work. He was also arrested for trespassing on a school campus. So in my opinion, not only is he disseminating misinformation, he's also a public menace. But hey, he's an expert. He has a bachelor's in anthropology. Now this guy is Warren Phillips. Now he does have a Master of Science in geology. If you're not aware, that is the study of rocks. He is particularly egregious with the hand motions.
5 toxins you need to avoid in your chapstick or lip balm. Number 1, fragrances and flavors. These both contain hormonal and carcinogenic compounds carefully engineered to get you addicted to the taste and smell. When you put this stuff in your skin, it's going to absorb some of these chemicals into your bloodstream. In some cases, putting it on your skin may be worse than actually ingesting it. But if you're not willing to eat these toxic chemicals, then don't put them on your skin.
Topical worse than ingesting. So if you're worried about your lipstick, just eat it. See what happens. And then we have our celebrities and our influencers who are constantly pushing clean living, clean eating, clean beauty.
Products that are sold to us shouldn't have toxic chemicals and they shouldn't be cancer causing. So many different deodorants, so many different products that we use every day that we don't even think about.
And it turned out that so many of the products were full of endocrine disrupting chemicals and things that were really not so good.
Being healthy is not elitist, although it is often harder for people who are poor. But clean living and clean beauty, that's some privileged bullshit. The products that they often swear by are usually prohibitively expensive. Natural, local, organic foods are often more expensive. And then there are the procedures and the therapies and the practices that people making $50,000 a year simply can't partake in. They don't have the time and they don't have the resources. And I'll say this, if you want to get Botox, go right ahead. You do you, I'm happy for you. But if you are going to get neurotoxins injected in your face, you don't get to lecture me about parabens in my face wash. My final point in this video is something that I don't think has been talked about a ton, but it's the rise of main character syndrome and how I think it has contributed to clean beauty and to villainizing ingredients. If something doesn't work for you, that doesn't necessarily make it bad. If something irritates your skin or causes you to break out, that doesn't mean it's evil. Your experience is not universal. You are not the center of the universe. Here are 3 ingredients that I avoid. Butylene glycol and witch hazel irritate the crap out of my skin, and anything with shea butter totally makes my chin break out. There is nothing wrong with these ingredients. If you have products that you like that have these ingredients, keep using them. I'm glad they work for you. That's awesome. Because there's nothing wrong with these. These are perfectly safe and effective for most people. They just happen to not work for me. I've been on a bit of a skincare journey this year, and so I've been on a lot of Reddit forums and watched a lot of content about skincare to learn more about it, and I'm getting really sick of seeing things like, niacinamide irritated my skin. Niacinamide is a bad ingredient. For you, this moisturizer dried out my skin. It's a bad product. No. If a product has 1,000 reviews and most of them are not great, then yeah, it's probably a bad product. If most of them are pretty good and it just didn't work for you, that is a you problem. Your singular experience does not make you an expert. In honor of today's topic, I have made a donation to the Pact Collective. That's the nonprofit that aims to help you recycle your used beauty packaging. They're the ones that have boxes at Ulta and Sephora. For anything you can't recycle with your home recycling, I highly encourage you to try and drop them off at one of those locations. Clean beauty as an idea is not bad. We just need to be doing things that we know are based on science and results. Do you have a favorite clean beauty product? Do you have a clean beauty term that you are sick of, like paraben-free? Please let me know your thoughts on clean beauty in the comments. Let me know if I got it wrong. If you disagree with me, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I post a new video every week, and I hope to see you in the next one.